Hey, YouTube land, what's happening? I've studied with Jim Chapin for about 6 or 7 years, and here lately I've had some people in the shop asking about some of Jim's molar system and things of that nature. So I thought I would just pop a couple of these things up here. I've got a lot of Jim's notes and a lot of things that Jim left here when he was teaching out of our shop, and when I stayed with him. This is Jim's actual. It's one of Jim's practice pads. This is an actual practice pad that he gave me 15 years ago, I guess. 10 or 15 years. It's been a long time. But this is one of his old practice pads. And then this is pretty cool. This is his unfinishable book. A lot of people have heard about this. This is it. This is the actual book, self-published by Jim. And as you can see, there's like a lot of inserts here. These are overlays. And maybe one day I'll get into how these work. And this is a very, very difficult book. There's a whole lot of moving pieces to it. Here's some of Jim's actual notes he used to teach off of right here. This is some of the molar system that Jim was so well known for. And here's the this is a clinic handout from a clinic that Jim did in China. And but this is a great book. And actually, you can see where Jim actually signed this book to me. And just a phenomenal person. There's a lot of people say there's never anybody like Buddy Rich, and there's never anybody like Jim Chapin. Joe Morello and a lot of the old guys that aren't here anymore. A lot of the original, what I call the OGs of drumming. But anyway, a couple of things I want to talk about. A few people asked me that we were talking about Vinny Culiata, and for example, and Jim, knew Vinny pretty well. Introduced me to Vinny several times, and I've been in the front row for a couple of really great Vinny clinics, and just really seen some pretty cool stuff from Vinny. And there's a lick that Jim used to always talk about. It's a collapsed double, which basically is just nothing more than a flam tap. But and so I kind of have my own little version of it that I do quite a bit, and people ask me about it all the time. It's just kind of a hybridized version of flam taps, flams. Just a flam rudiment, basically combined with a double stroke roll. So if I'm doing doubles, okay, just a single, just straight out double stroke, right, left. And I'm not playing very fast. I'm just kind of, okay, if I'm doing them there, if I collapse that, basically what's going to happen is the two strokes will fall. Flam tap basically is all that is. So you're basically taking double strokes and you're collapsing them together. So if you're right, left, right, left, as they start to overlap, they overlap like this. And so the right and the left, they start to fall together, and so they collapse on one another. That's all that is, okay? If I were to play it together, I'm just really doing half of it there. It's mostly just left hand collapsing over the right. Flam tap. That's all that is, okay? And I play that quite a bit. People have seen me playing drum set, and not that I'm the greatest player or anything, but people see me playing drum set, and they go, "What is that little lick you're just doing?" I might finish like a little feel with it, flap, 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 something like that, and then it might be a little transition piece for me. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, so and it's just a collapse type thing. Jim used to do it quite a bit. It's kind of a nervous habit for me. I would sit around watching television with a practice pad, or sit around goofing off watching YouTube or whatever, and I would sit there and just do double, single, and I try to go back and forth, single, double. Just kind of goofing off, whatever. Flam. And it's kind of a nervous habit. So that's all that is. So maybe, maybe somebody will get something out of that. And there's a couple of little licks that, I'll post over the next couple of weeks that people have asked about. And like I said, maybe I'll get into some of this stuff. I think this is a really, really neat book. And actually, before I get into the volume 2, before I get into this, it might actually be more beneficial if I do a little bit of Jim's papers here, which is what he taught a lot of when he was in our studios here. Jim would this is what everybody got. He would say, Bill, run down to the copy machine and go make me 50 copies of this, and that's what I would do. I'd run down, and this is kind of our little handout worksheet of kind of where the hands are at the time of the stroke and that sort of thing, and just really great. I mean, it definitely will make your playing more efficient. Here's your triplets, and then of course you get down here and you got your eighths, and here's your 16th patterns, and just a really great set of sheets. This is I used to tell everybody all the time. This is the 6 sheets that would change everybody's life, and so I would give this to students of mine and give it to people. And same thing here. This is kind of interesting. This is Jim's Chinese clinic that he did in China years ago, and a master class he did, and it was very well received. But then there's actually more exercises in here that gets a little bit more in depth than what this one did. So, all right, so there it is. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and just a nice little lick to practice. Just again, start out with just your singles, or I'm sorry, your doubles, okay, and then from there you're going to see if you can collapse them, and you'll go back, double, collapse, double. All right, guys, good luck.